Dave always loved the nightlife, sitting in the back of a darkened club, listening to smooth jazz with some girl nibbling on his ear as he idly watched the gamblers walking around, hoping to get one final win out of their last few bits, only to have those hopes dashed away right in front of their very eyes. Maybe next time, guys. Try it again next time you come to town. Well, Dave finished his scotch and let the girl pay for it. She offered. He got her number in case he ever needed her. But not tonight. He had to get home. He had things to do tomorrow. What those things were, he didn't know yet. He usually went wherever the night took him. But tonight, he was just going to get home because that was where the night was taking him. It was 5:47 p.m. when Dave finally decided to get up. He rubbed his eyes and he yawned loudly, trying desperately to remember what he did last night. He couldn't even remember. But whatever happened, it must have been a blast. It always was. He'd just hear the story from his roommate tomorrow, probably. Nothing happened on Sundays except they just sat around and watched the game. Anyway, he finally decided to roll out of bed. Well, his feet did anyway. That was a start. He rubbed his eyes again and he tried desperately to remember what the fuck happened last night. Oh well. Slowly he stood up and he stretched. Boy, did that stretch feel good, as he listened to the bones in his back crackle and pop like cereal. His feet made a scrubbing sound as he trudged his way to his bedroom door. As he opened it, he was immediately greeted to the sounds of whimpers and moans coming from his roommate's bedroom door across the hall. He shook his head and smirked a little bit. Bitch is always moaning too loud. It's faking it anyway. He closed his bedroom door as he made his way down the opposite end of the hall toward the bathroom. When he made it, he flipped on the light, took off his boxers, and turned on the shower. Made sure the bathroom door was locked. And he stepped into the shower stall and was greeted with heaven splashing him in the face. 15 minutes later, he made it out of the shower and he rubbed the condensation from the bathroom mirror. Ugh, I look like shit. He grabbed his razor and decided to shave. It had been a couple of days, why not? After another 10 minutes, he was sitting at the kitchen table in his best bell-bottom jeans. He was looking over the newspaper that his roommate brought in that morning, of course. He wasn't going to spend money on a newspaper. Crimson Tide wins again, huh? 47-15 over Vanderbilt. Big shocker there. Well, congratulations, boys. He smoked on his cigarette and he drank his bourbon, wondering what he was going to do tonight, where he was going to get dinner. Was he going to buy it, or would he get it from one of his girls in the neighborhood? One of his girls in the neighborhood it is, who wants to spend money. Slowly he stood again, and he put on his brand new paisley shirt, colors of dark brown, mint green, and purple. Oh well, it was new, made with the best polyester money can buy. As he finished buttoning up the shirt, grabbed his blue jean jacket, he walked out the door and locked it. His friend decided to entertain the neighborhood again with the sounds of his moans because he forgot to close the fucking window again. He laughed to himself and walked to the end of the driveway. He looked left, then he looked right. Guess I'll go see Stella. He walked down to Stella's house. As he walked through the door, she immediately greeted him with head. That's his girl. Well, he wasn't going to get dinner there. When he walked out of her house, he made his way down the block. Guess I'll see Evangeline, see what she's up to. She always had a good dinner waiting for him. Barbecue chicken, green beans, mashed potatoes, biscuits. She was the cook of the neighborhood, and he loved that about her. If he was to ever get married, she'd be it. He walked out of the house with a kiss and a full belly. He made his way back down to his house. He got into his car, and he started her up. Ugh, kiss. Let me turn this shit off. He drove through the streets of the city, wondering what he could get himself into, and came upon this jazz club just downtown. This must be new. He grabbed a saxophone from the back seat and walked inside. As he sat in the back, he watched the band play. Their sax player just decided not to show up. That's weird. Hey, if anybody in the club knows a saxophone player, we'd really appreciate it. We just play smooth jazz up here, so if you can come up here and jam with us, give you a few dollars for the night, buy you some drinks. That was his cue. Boldly, Dave grabbed his saxophone, walked up to the stage. It only took him a few beats to catch on, and he played what he felt. That's what he always did. By the end of the night, Dave was drunk, but he loved the bands that he played with. Oh, they were some cool guys. Gave him $50 and brought him some drinks. The girls weren't bad either. Some new birds that came into the club. He never saw them before. Oh well. He'll have their numbers by the end of the night. By 2:15 in the morning, Dave decided it was time to go home. He didn't want to catch a cab. And back then, nobody really cared if you drove drunk. Or at least that's what it seemed. When his roommate picked up the newspaper the next morning, Dave was on the front page. He never made it home last night. His nickname? Deacon Blues. Dead at 28. And that, my friends, is the story of Deacon Blues. Well, I hope you guys liked my little story. It was just something I was thinking of after listening to Steely Dan tonight. And I thought it would make a cool story, just a cool short story. Nothing huge, of course, but it was just an image that ran through my head. This guy in the 70s, waking up in the evening. The whole story's right there in the song. So I just wanted to see if I could tell it. I messed up a few times, I know, and I'm sorry about that, but I tried this like 6 other times and couldn't get it. And I don't want to let this go because this is a cool story. But anyways, that's my favorite Steely Dan song, and I hope you guys will decide to listen to it because I cannot put it in this video or I'll get copyright striked. So, after you guys listen to the story, listen to the song, and see for yourself. Tell me, did I do a good job? I love you guys very, very much. As usual, there is a donations link in the description. If you would hit that, help me help out my channel. I would appreciate it a lot. Thank you guys so much for wasting time with me. I love you guys very, very much. Hope to see y'all on the next upload. Bye for now. Hey y'all, here's some interesting facts about the song Deacon Blues. Deacon Blues was actually inspired by a football player named Deacon Jones. Not the song itself, but the title at least, because they liked the sound of his name. Deacon Jones just had a cool sound. Plus, the word deacon had 2 syllables like the word crimson, and Jones had 1 syllable like the word tide. So, Deacon Jones turned into Deacon Blues to match Crimson Tide. Now you know. Another fun fact, Pete Christlieb from the Johnny Carson Show, he was the saxophone player in the Johnny Carson Show band, and he played the awesome saxophone solo in the song, and it's one of my favorite in music. What he said about it was, they told me to play what I felt. Hey, I'm a jazz musician, that's what I do. So I recorded my first solo. We listened back and they said it was great. I recorded a second take and that's the one they used. I was gone in a half hour. The next thing I know, I'm hearing myself in every airport bathroom in the world. And so, yeah, that one threw me for a loop because I knew who he was. I knew exactly who he was because I watched the Johnny Carson Show sometimes when I was allowed to stay up late as a child. So, there you go. Now you know. Hey y'all, I thought this was weird, and I'm going to put my sources in the description just so you know I'm not lying. But Donald Fagen said something really interesting about the song. He said that he gives credit to Norman Mailer as the inspiration for the narrator's persona. It says it toyed with the cliche of the jazz musician as anti-hero. It was kind of a takeoff on that old essay by Norman Mailer, The White Negro. I'm not making this up. Not to mention our lives up to that point. The alienated white suburban kid thinks that if he learns how to play bebop, he'll throw off the chains of repression and live the authentic life, unleash the wild seeds of art and passion and so on. So, yeah, I thought that was pretty wild. Okay. Now you know.